What's up everybody, Kevin here, and we are back with another episode of C# tutorial. In this video we are going to talk about some access modifiers and how to create a method. First, I will talk about a little about access modifiers, and then I will show you how to create a method, and then we will continue with access modifier and I will completely explain to you. We have 5 different access modifiers in C#. Public, private, protected, internal, protected, internal. These 5 different access modifiers are available in C#. Today we are just going to talk about public, private, and internal. Protected and protected internal, I will talk about them in another episode of this series. But note that this 5 is 5 access modifiers in C#. Public, private, protected, internal, and protected, internal. First, before everything, I just want to create an example and then write that example with method. Let me just finish that and I will explain that to you. Okay, now in this example, I just want to calculate the area of a rectangle. Calculating area of rectangle, we just need height and width, and we have them here. And this code is completely fine and it will work. Let's just start it. This C. Okay, now as you can see, it is completely right. But we are not here to just write this example. Okay, now I just want to write that example with method. Let me just finish that and I will explain everything to you. Okay, now we are finished. We wrote exactly the same thing that I wrote earlier with method. Now let me just explain that to you. Now in this class program, we want to calculate the area of a rectangle. Our rectangle have some properties like height, width, and maybe in some other programs this rectangle have some other properties. I mean like depth or color or something like that. But in this particular program, our rectangle have only two properties, height and width. I will explain that to you in another episode of C# series. This is a method. Let me just write a base form of a method. The first thing in our method, we have to write access modifier, which I told you earlier. Access modifier. And then we have to write our returning value. Returning value, which in this method our returning value is int. But in this method our returning value is nothing. And obviously we don't need to write any return code. Unlike here, we have to write return code. After that, we have to write our method's name. Which, exactly like here, the first character must be uppercase. And then we have two parentheses. And then a block. In this parentheses we have to write our parameters, which in these two cases we don't have any parameters and we didn't write anything. You can write here parameters, but now in this part we write methods body. This is the base form of a method, which it is easy. Here, if you look closely to what I wrote, you can see everything, such as access modifiers, public, returning value int, which I returned an int value, area that I wrote here is int. And then method's name, cal area is our method name. And then if we don't have even one parameters, we have to put two parentheses after the method's name. These two parentheses is a must. But in this block is our methods body. Console.writeLine enter height. Height is equals convert.32, and to the end. And look at this. Public access modifier. Returning value void, which we don't have any returning value. I put void for not having returning value. Method's name, printing, is my method's name. And look, I don't have parameters, but I put these two parentheses here. And console.writeLine is our method's body. Just to know that program calculate equals new program, two parentheses and one semicolon. Here we are creating object from class program. I will explain everything about object in another episode. Just know that calculate is our object's name. We want to call printing method. First we have to create an object from program. Here we created an object from program, and then calculate that printing. I called this method here, but where did this go? I called this one here in my printing method. Console.writeLine area is cal area. I called cal area this method here. But what's the point? Here I return the area, what I need, what I calculated, and that's exactly what I need. I just need the area of a rectangle. And if we just call that, it returns this value. We got height from user, and then we got width from user. We multiplied them together, and then we have area here. And then this method returns area, which we needed. And then I call this method here. Area is cal area. We just want to write that. And then public void main, as you know everything we write in this particular block, the computer or the C# will run these ones. Now let's start it just one more time to see what happened here. Okay, now I'm starting it. The program is in this line, console.writeLine. We are here, console.writeLine interwrite, and height equals, convert that to int32 console.readLine. Sorry, we are in this line, line 19. We have to give the computer a number like 6, and then the computer run this one, enter width, and then we are width equals, convert that to int32 console.readLine. We are in this line, line 23. we have to enter a number like 3, and then if we hit enter, area is 18. The computer have done this part. Console.writeLine, here area is 18, console.writeLine, area is cal area, which the returning value is 18 here. The computer did the calculating work, height multiply width equals int area and return area. Here we have our area. And now we are back to access modifiers. As you see, public, I wrote public here, and I wrote another public here, and I said we have to use access modifier for methods. We also can use access modifiers. It's better to use access modifier for our properties like public int height and public int width, which there is no issue with the program, no issue found, and it runs completely fine. And even if I write another class, if I create another class, I still can use public int height. Let me just show you an example. Okay, now as you can see, I wrote another class, I created another class, I created another object from program, which public int height is program class. And then I created a method, public void test2, for example, and then console.writeLine calculate.height. Even in another class, in another method, in another body of class, we still can use that height. As you can see, we can use this height in the body of this method, and also there is no problem if we use it in this method, like console.writeLine height, and also we can use that. And we also can use that here just by adding calculate.height. I wrote that calculate.height. Now it is right. This height, as you can see, is exactly the same as this height, and this height, and this height, and this height. Or even this height, as you can see, is exactly the same as this one. We named this property as public. But what if we named it as private? As you can see, this height, there is no issue here. We can use this private property in this method. Height, these are exactly the same height in printing method, or even in our main code, we still can use that. But if you look at here, we have one error, which is here. Program.height is inaccessible due to its protection level. If we change this one to private, if we write exactly the same thing here, width, again we have another problem. Private access modifier for that own class and other methods in that particular class. As you can see, private int width is in program class, but we cannot access that from this class. Class test1 is another class. But now it's time for internal. I will explain protected and protected internal in another video. Now we change that to internal. Again, internal. Internal int. As you can see, we have no issue found, and then it works here. There is no issue here. Internal is something like public, but the difference is if we export our code, calculate rectangle, this program, if we export this program as an Excel program or DLL program, and if we have used something internal member in this program, and if we have another program, something like sample exe or sample DDO, we cannot use this program, calculate rectangle, in sample program, sample exe or sample DDO, because of this internal. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you find this video helpful. I will put 1-minute C# tutorial playlist link down in the description. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day and peace out.